Hello, welcome back to the Unit 2 under Principles of Management. In the previous class, we have learned about the basics of management and we have covered almost all characteristics of management and we have seen the definition of management also. And even we have covered about the 14 principles which was given by the father of modern management, that is Henry Fayol. And we have also witnessed about the importance of management in the present business scenario. Now today, in this particular video, you are going to learn about Unit 2 called as planning. Firstly, let me start with the definition of planning. When we heard a word called planning, planning is nothing but it is a future course of action, estimating about the future course of action. Like in the next 1 week, what we are going to what we are going to do, or in the next one hour, what we are going to do, or in the next 1 month, what is our plan of action. So regarding this next 1 week or next 1 month or next 1 year or next 6 months, we are going to plan about several things. So when you are going to plan for some production, or when you are going to plan for some hiring process, or when you are going to plan any budget preparations, whatever the kind of activity that an organizations have to perform in the future course of action, we have to implement a concept called planning. So that's the reason why planning has got that much of importance. When we are going to see the implementation of planning concept in the organizational scenario, we have to take 5 W's and 1 H into consideration. We have to take 5 W's and 1 H into consideration if we want to go for plan for future course of action. Let us take example. Let us take an example. If HR department is going to plan a future hiring process to source the required manpower for the organization. So at that point of time, HR manager is going to think about what kind of procedure that we need to follow when we want to go for hiring process, or where is the right source can we use to go for hiring, or when is the right time to go for hiring, why particular source have to be selected, why not some other course, why this particular source has to be selected. So and even who are the people qualified, or who are the people to be recruited, or who are the people to be hired in the organization. So and even how the recruiting processes has to be done in the future. So regarding these 5 W's and 1 H, if we can implement these 5 W's and 1 H, then we will get an effective plan of action which can be implemented in the future. So that is about planning definition. And if we can see some of the characteristics, like planning is nothing but it is going to define before what you are going to execute, and it is an intellectual process also, because it lays down some organizational objectives and it also develops some various courses of actions, and even it can chalks out exactly how to attain a particular specific goal. And planning is nothing but, as I already mentioned, you thinking about before the action takes place. And even planning also helps us to keep a to keep a deeper look about the future, or how the future is going to be going to happen, and how the future markets can be there. So regarding all those things, we can have a better idea about the future plan of action. Let us have some characteristics of plannings also. See, the first one, planning is what the first managerial function where every manager have to implement when they want to do something in the future. So without planning, we cannot do anything. And moreover, planning is a goal oriented. If we are doing anything, if we are going to execute anything, we have to have a specific goal. We have to have at least a short-term goal, or at least we need to construct a long-term goal. So why we are doing planning is nothing but to achieve some goals, or to achieve some future goals or objectives. We need to go for implementing planning. And moreover, it is a continuous activity. It is pervasive in nature, and it is a continuous activity. See, it is not a one-time activity. There is no full stop for planning. Planning is a continuous process where every department or every level of management have to be involved in doing the planning. And moreover, planning is not a physical process, it is an intellectual process. A manager has to think with his broad mind when he is going to plan for a particular course of action in the near future. And the planning helps us to make some decisions. See, normally we will take some financial decisions, we will take some marketing related decisions, and sometimes we'll go for taking some human resource related decisions, and sometimes we'll go for taking some purchase oriented related decisions. So whatever the kind of decisions which every manager or which every department are going to take, they have to keep in mind that planning should be done. So these are some of the very important characteristics which defines or which gives us a clear picture about the planning. And when we talk about the importance of planning, it improves future performance. See, if we can expect what is going to happen, if we can estimate about the future course of action, and if we can estimate about future marketing conditions, then we will take necessary measures to reduce all the unnecessary happenings. We can take necessary measures, and we can come up with remedial action plans to come out from some uncertain events. So in that way we can improve the future performance of every department or every organization. Planning is very much needed to improve the future performance, and it also minimizes the risks and uncertainties. It also minimizes. See, we are going to view about what is going to happen in the next 6 hours or next 6 months or next 6 days. See, if we can view, or if we have a proper estimation about the future course of action, then we can minimize all the risks involved, and even we can minimize some uncertain happenings. See, future is completely uncertain, and I'm not telling that whatever the estimations that we have made at present, it will comes to implement in the future in the same way. I'm not sure about that, because future is completely uncertain. So futuristic events can be taken into our control if we have an effective plan. And moreover, it also facilitates the coordination of activities. So if you want to see the activities should be done according to the given schedule, or if you want to see every activity should be done without having any overlappings, or if you want to eliminate any unproductive working patterns, you have to we have to implement a concept called planning. And planning shows us a particular direction. Planning helps us in advance. Planning helps us to take necessary actions in advance, what is to be done in the future, and it also provides us a particular way of direction also. And moreover, planning helps us to reduce the threats, or reduce the uncertainties, and reduce the risks. And moreover, planning helps us to create more opportunities to improvise the performance among the employees, to improvise the industry's performance, to have some coordination among the different departments. So in that way, planning helps us to create lot of opportunities. And also, planning sets some standards for controlling the things which are going to happen in the next coming days. And coming to the objectives and benefits of planning, see, it reduces the risk factors, it facilitates us some proper coordination. Like already I have explained you all these points in the importance as well as in the introductory points of this particular unit 2. That's why I'm just skipping all these points. So we'll have some proper coordination, and we can see every activity can be organized with our available resources. And planning is also helping us to take right decision, right direction, and it also provides us some future opportunities, and it also helps us to identify the future opportunities and future threats also. And it is a goal oriented, okay, and it helps the organization to fulfill the objectives of the organization. Yes, planning is the only element, and planning is the primary element which helps every organization to get attached to the objectives of the organization, and it helps us to motivate the employees in the organization, and it also helps. The most important benefit where we can get from planning is we can have some creativity and innovation among the employees, and it is also helping to have a proper decisions also. And coming to the planning process, how a plannings can be done in the organizational scenario. If we can implement these seven steps or seven planning processes, then we can do the planning concept very effectively. So in the first instance, we have to establish overall objectives, whatever is required to achieve. And coming to the after establishing the overall objectives of an organization, we need to develop some premises. We need to develop some planning premises. See, it is not premises, it is planning premises. We need to develop some planning premises which are helping, which helps us to see that planning can be implemented in a most effective manner. And coming to after developing premises, we have to evaluate and select the right choice of alternatives. And we have to and after the evaluation process and selection of choice of alternatives have been done, we have to create alternative plans. See, as I already mentioned you, here I have to mention one important point, that is, suppose if we may not be able to implement the plan whatever we have developed. See, as I already mentioned, your future is completely uncertain. The plans cannot be implemented in the same course of action as in the future. The market can see fluctuations, and sometimes the marketing conditions also may not be in a favorable situation, and sometimes the customer minds or the customer preferences can be changed. Like all these areas, we have to develop some alternative plans also. And after formulating alternative plans, we have to go for securing cooperation and participation from the employees also. And finally, we have to go for review the plan of action, and we have to follow up whether it is been implemented in a systematical manner or not. And after that, we have some merits and demerits of planning also. As of course, with the planning concept, we have got some advantages and we have got some disadvantages. So under advantages, yes, with the use of planning, we can reduce uncertainty. We can complete the activities in a most economical way, and with this planning concept, we can facilitate proper control over each and every activity and each and every employee who are taking part in implementing the activities. And moreover, we can with the use of this planning concept, we can improve motivation also. You can fill morale, you can build morale, and you can fill utmost motivational concept among the people to get implemented the plan according to the given schedule. And it also creates some competitive edge. It also avoids duplication of efforts. And coming to the disadvantages, we have some forecasting limitations, and rigidity in administration, time consuming process. Yes, of course, planning is a time consuming process and it's a costly affair. It is a costliest affair and it influences some external factors, and individuals' psychological factors also plays a key role in affecting the plan. Suppose if an employee's psychological factor is not good, if an employee's psychologies are not allowing them to implement a plan in a successful manner, so at that point of time plans gets disturbed. So they say these are some of the advantages and disadvantages of planning. So with this I conclude my particular unit 2. So planning is a necessary managerial function regardless of your level in the organization. See, in whatever the level that you deals with or in whatever the level you belongs to, planning is what the very much primary function which every department or every organizations have to implement. And with the careful implementation of the planning, we can design the mission statement and identifying the goals, and we can analyze the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats also at each and every business level. And planning helps us to create some strategies and those strategies helps us to implement the plans in order to realize the realistic situation what is going to be happen in the near future. So this is about planning. So with this I conclude my unit 2, and in the I'll explain the unit 3 in the next unit. Until then, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.